Bonjour and welcome back to my channel. Claude here. Today I'm going to be doing a different types of videos. It's more of a how-to. I want to show you how you can create a tarot spread based on creating a sigil. Now this is exactly what I did for Andrea Aste's new deck, the Book of Shadows, an Alchemist story, which I reviewed not long ago. There'll be a link in the description box if you want to check out the review of the deck and the book. And it was a very interesting process, and I just wanted to share that with you. So the first thing is what is a sigil? Well, a sigil is a symbol that focuses your intent to bring about some kind of a change, like a magical symbol. Now there are many videos online that you can check out, and there are many ways of creating sigils. There's also many books. Now I recommend this book, which is Sigil Witchery by Laura Tempest Zakroff. Very good resource if you want to learn different ways of creating a sigil. There's also Magical Crafting, a YouTube channel which I feature on my main page. You can click on that. She has many different methods to do sigil creation, and she's very peaceful and calming. I love watching her. So that's the bit on sigil. And then now I'm going to want to show you how I came about doing it. So it started with an intention, as I've just explained. So my intention was, and it was very simple, I wanted to have the title of the keyword in the intention. So I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, so I wrote down, I am the alchemist of my life. That is the intention for my sigil. And I chose the number method for it. So the number method basically shows you how you affix a number to a letter. Now I chose 8. Now it could be 10, it could be 6, it could be whatever you want it to be. The reason why I chose 8 is because I didn't want the card spread to be any more than 8 cards. So I wrote down the letters, so A, B, C, all the alphabet, going on the next line when I ran out after the 8th letter, all the way down to Z. Once I'd done that, I then took my sentence and I got rid of all of the vowels. The vowels do not count, okay? So I got rid of the vowels. I also got rid of repeating consonants so that they only count once. So I was left with M, T, H. M was repeated, so I kind of ignored it. I had S, Y, and F, which gave me those M, T, H, L, C, S, F, Y. That's the one I had left. And then I looked at my table. So M is a 5, as you can see. T is a 4. H is an 8, and so on and so forth. So that gave me those numbers. Now you can then organize your 8 numbers in whatever form you would like. Now it completely depends on your preferences, and I personally like to put them in a circle, but you don't have to, okay? I'm just giving you the example of how I did it. So I did this. This is what it looked like. I put my 8 numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a circle. Now I crossed out number 2 and number 7 because if you look at this, right here I have no number 2s and no number 7s, so that I'm not going to be using them. So I kept the other numbers and I started drawing them, putting them together. I chose the shape, okay? You are completely free. This is a very creative endeavor, which is a very personal endeavor, and you may not like the first form that you come up with and you may want to change it. That's perfectly fine. Now you will notice that on number 3 and 4 I have 2 points of entry, and that's because I had 2 letters that were 4s and 3s. If you look here, I have S and C that had a value number 3, and I had L and T that were number 4. You don't have to give it 2 points. I wanted to because it made more sense to me, but that's completely up to you. So this is how it looked. So that was the basis for my spread. I knew that would be the card positions. So then I had to decide, obviously, what would each position would be, you know, like with a normal tarot spread. Now, I've reviewed an excellent book, which is written by Barbara Moore on how to create your tarot spreads, and I will leave you a link in the description box below as well if you want to check out that review, because that's very informative. It doesn't tell you how to do it with a sigil, but it gives you the basics on what you need to have in a good tarot spread. So I'm going to show you what I did. The spread anatomy, as I call it. I wanted my first position to be what? Okay, what am I trying to manifest? Because remember, it's about being the alchemist of your life. Okay, what are you trying to manifest? Why are you trying to manifest it? What are my assets? What are my obstacles or challenges? The role of others in my manifestation? The unforeseen consequences of my manifestation? The short term and obviously outcome, and then the long-term outcome. So these were my 8 positions in my spread. Now, I didn't like the flow of this, so I kept the drawing and I rearranged it to suit my needs, and it became this. Now let me zoom out so you can see it better. And this is actually the actual bit of paper that I emailed Andrea for his book. So you've got the what, the why. I wanted the assets to be all the way over there because these are my strength, because over there I wanted the obstacle and the role of others to be on the other side because I have no power over that, whereas this is my strength. So I wanted it to have like a very important role in the sigil. So this is the obstacle and the others. Here you find the unforeseen consequences. Again, all of that part here is to do with what I can't control. And then you have the short-term outcome and the long-term outcome. Notice how number 1 and 2 are linked. What am I trying to manifest and why? Because that was my intention. So this is how it came out. And then obviously then Andrea waved his magic wand and it looked like this, which obviously is way nicer than my drawings with the paragraph here. Now, I explain the spread in there, and I do say, so whilst shuffling your cards, make sure you hold at the forefront of your mind what you're trying to manifest. As you place each card into their respective positions, you will see the sigil come to life. You may want to visualize the lines between each card, as this will give you extra guidance on how to link the cards with one another and how the energy flows between them as a whole. I then explain the positioning, and obviously, this is my recommendation. You do not have to do it, but I did say that once you've had the guidance, you may want to draw the sigil on a card and then keep it on your person as a reminder, or even put it on your altar if it is part of your practice. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you place the card on the mat, for instance. And I'm going to use Andrea's deck. So let me grab my cards. And so you have a position 1. It may be a bit cramped because I don't have much room. Let me move my notes. Okay, so you have number 1, number 2, number 3, remember, which is your assets all the way over there. 4 and 5, I'm going to put them together because I have no control over that. The unforeseen. You can't even see it, the unforeseen, the short term and the long term. Now it looks better when you have more space, but unfortunately I am very, very cramped on my table to show you this. But card 1 is what you're trying to manifest and why. So here we have the Sun and the Emperor, which obviously I'm trying to manifest happiness, abundance in my life. Why? Because I want to be in control of my life. I'm just giving you, instant ideas. Number 3, which is what are my strengths? Temperance. So somebody who is very patient, moderate, doesn't have any excesses, therefore probably not going to be overspending, for instance, that kind of thing. Then 4 and 5 is all to do with the obstacle or the challenges and the role of others. So obstacles, 3 of coins, maybe I'm going to find it hard to collaborate with people. I mean, that's not the truth, okay, I'm just giving you an example. The role of others, the Queen of Coins, my manifestation may be dependent on somebody who embodies the energy of the Queen of Coins, or it may well be that it is dependent on me being able to have the energy of the Queen of Coins, which is being pragmatic, making the right decisions on how to make this thing come to life. We then move on to the unforeseen consequences. That would be the Nine of Cups. I'm happy with this unforeseen consequence of my manifestation, because if it means I get my wish fulfilled, then I'm all for it. Short-term outcome, the Five of Swords. So swords to do with the mental body. Five of Swords is a breakthrough. So it may well be that my victory doesn't please everybody. You can see how they look like they're sulking over there. And long-term outcome is the Ace of Wands, which obviously is a beautiful thing for me. You know, it's a fake reading, but you know what I'm saying, with the promise of growth and something exciting and the beginning of something very new for me, an adventure. So, as I said, I'm really sorry, my mat is so cramped, I can't show you exactly how it would look, but that is pretty much what this would look like if you were doing the reading. So this is to manifest something, okay, as I've explained, but you could do a tarot spread based on a sigil for pretty much any other intention you have. So let's say you want to do a tarot spread that's to do with money, and you would like to get some money, for instance. So let me grab a bit of paper and run an example with you. I don't think I have much paper, but I'll find some post-it note. So let's say that you want to say you want to manifest money in your life. So you're gonna say, I don't know, money comes my way, okay? And you want a short spread, you don't want 8 cards, you want, I don't know, maximum, let's say 6 cards, right? So you're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're gonna list your alphabet under those 6 headings. So I'm gonna try and be quick. There you go. So you've got all of that. Now remember, your vowels do not count with this method anyway. And anything that's repeated, you're not going to count. So you've got M, N, and Y. C, M is repeated, so no. S, M is repeated, Y is repeated, W, and repeated. Okay. So then you look at their value. Let me zoom in. Okay, so then you look at their value. So M is on the number 1, so this is going to be a 1. N is on the number 2, so this is going to be a 2. Y is also a 1. C is a 3. And W is a 5. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and you can have 2 points of entry on number 1 if that's how you want to play it, but you do not have to. That is not something that's, you know, it's up to you basically, okay? So let's say that now you know that your spread is going to be 4 cards, right? So you need to think about what the elements, the anatomy of your spread is going to be, right? So let's say your first position could be how to make more money. Your second position would be looking at your assets, because I always believe it's important to look at the assets and what hinders us, the challenges. So I would say what's hindering. And then, because we have 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, I would say the long-term steps or outcome depending on the card that you get, okay? So that's going to be the anatomy of your spread. You've got 4 cards. And then you need to decide what shape you want your spread to look like. So it is entirely up to you what you do with it, obviously, because it's your spread. But what I would do is I would draw my 6th position, because you had 6 in your alphabet. So let me zoom out a little bit. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we know from this thing here that you do not have a number 4 and you do not have a number 6. So you cross out 4 and you cross out 6, and then you can do pretty much whatever pattern you want. So you could choose to link 1, 2 and then go 3, 5 like that. So you would get some kind of weird like a lick to that side. I personally see it this way. You don't have to, but this is what I would do. I would go like that and like that, and I would change the position. So that would become 1, 2, 3 and 4, if that makes sense for my spread. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, and so the what would be how to make the money. The number 2 would be my assets. What's hindering goes on the other side. I always separate what's positive for me and what's not, and then the long term. And so if you wanted to then use your spread, which is here, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to have to make a little bit more room for that. And I'm going to use Andrea's deck again. So let's say that you want to go, so how to make more money, what are my assets, what's hindering, and the long term. So how am I going to make more money? By being patient, moderate, and not be excessive in anything, not overspend, for instance, or overinvest. What are my assets? 5 of Swords, being very sharp intellectually, being smart, doing things my own way as well. What's hindering me? The 9 of Cups. I may have a bit of an idealized way of thinking I could make money, you know, like the wish fulfillment. That may be something that's hindering me. Maybe I need to be a bit more practical. And the long term is the Sun. So success, it will come my way, not a problem. So as I said, these are just examples. You can really use this method for anything, anything that you want. It's just you create your sigil and then you create your spread anatomy, basically, is what it is. So I'm just gonna remind you, you put your sentence, you decide how many cards you're gonna want. So I did 8. You put the alphabet underneath it. You get rid of any extra vowels. The vowels do not count, and any consonant that's repeated, you get rid of them. You then find the numerological value and you write it down, which then gives you your points on your spread. You can arrange them in a circle, or you can arrange them in a square, a rectangle, whatever you want, and then you draw the lines as you wish them until you're happy with the shape of it. And once you have the shape, you do what I call the spread anatomy, which is each position in the spread, what are they going to be answering? And then once you've done that, then you have your spread. So I hope you found this useful, helpful, interesting. Let me know in the comment box below what your thoughts are on this. And wherever you are in this world, whenever you're watching this, I wish you a magical day, and I thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Until next time, au revoir.